This is your girl Tracy. And today I would like to talk to you about, I believe, that most people who are in a relationship, the normal relationships. Oh Lord of mercy. Anyways, yes. So, what I'd like to talk to you about, as you can see, I'm also in the middle of eating my dinner. But while I eat, I believe I can talk. In my plate, you see I have this is white cassava, brown stewed chicken, banana, and dumplings. And I will guarantee you, you will hear my baby barking away because she's greedy. But let me get back to the meat of the matter. And what I want to talk about is the negative connotations that goes along with having a relationship with your in-law. Most commonly is your mother-in-laws, and I have what I would like to say is the do's and the don'ts and the pros and the cons that goes along with your mother, liking your mother-in-law. To talk about the entire in-law system or family tree, that will take 3, 4, 5 videos. But before any further ado, please allow me to remind you what to do. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget, turn the notification buttons on. You hear it first. So, what I'd like to say is, I have been hearing for years since I've become an adult or early years in my teens, I will hear people say, I do not want to have any mother in law. I don't like mother in laws. I don't want to have a relationship with my mother in law. My mother in law cannot do this, that, and the third. Basically, the connotation is monster in law. And what I would like to say about that is I believe a lot of people has what you call um, preconceived notions entering into a relationship, whether whomever of your choice, whether a man or a woman. But if you're going into a relationship with someone and you have preconceived notions when it comes on to their mother, and you've already have the negative thoughts in the back of your head about mother-in-laws, or everything that you hear about mother-in-law is negative, then I believe you will have a problem with your mother-in-law. um what I would say is that we anybody who is in a relationship or who's getting involved in a relationship, sometimes you have to leave your preconceived notions at the door. And you cannot expect your spouse or your partner or your husband or whomever you're in a relationship with to all of a sudden change their relationship with their mother because you're now in the picture. And I believe that's what a lot of women and men think should happen. And I don't think that should be so. Well, I have heard of multiple horror stories when it comes on to mother-in-law. And I can say that sometimes, no, I'm not saying that the horror stories are not true. And I'm not saying that you don't have some women who thinks that now that you're in the picture, you are there to take over, you're there to run the show, you're there to take their space. And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen or that does not exist. But what I'm saying is, if you do not have a preconceived notion getting in a relationship with someone who has their mother in their life or in the picture, um, starting with a clean slate, go get in the relationship with an open mind, and a level playing field will make the relationship with your mother-in-law great. Now, what I would say is that anybody who is getting a relationship with somebody, um, if you have a mother and a mother who loves and cares for you, they are going to have their own, um, I would say, preconceived notions, or not even preconceived notion, but they would want the very best for their child. So I don't see a problem with a mother wanting the best for their child. Um, there's a difference between wanting the best for their child or their children, that is, and overstepping the boundaries. And it's vice versa. Because what I find out, sometimes I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, I don't want no mother-in-law. My mother-in-law can't do this, that. She can't talk to me. She can't say this. She can't run this. She can't. She just can't." Which I believe that's the wrong approach. And then sometimes it becomes very, very disrespectful. And I would say to a woman or to a man, if you are getting a relationship with your partner and their mother is in their life, you have to understand that relationship existed long before you got in the picture. And therefore, you cannot make comparison between their mother's relationship and your relationship. And I believe that's where a lot of people go wrong. Your expectations of the relationship with their mother and the expectation of the relationship with you have what you call preconceived notions, and the expectations that you have are oftentimes not relevant. The expectation that you have is not valid. You cannot expect you to be treated the very same way that the man treats his mother, or the woman treats her mother, or whomever it is treats their mother. You cannot expect that same treatment. You cannot accept the same relationship. That is two separate relationships. The relationship that a man or woman have with their mother, it's a sacred relationship. It has nothing to do with you and your existence. Now, what I'm saying is, um, every mother who has their children, then their children are getting in a relationship, they would want to see the best for their children. And they would want to have a say or give a word of advice and encouragement. And I honestly don't see anything wrong with that. Because sometimes they always says, mother know best. A mother know best. And it's not in a negative way. And if you leave your preconceived notion at the door and you go into that relationship with your mother-in-law with a clean slate and an open mind, I guarantee you that the relationship that you develop with her, I'm not going to say it's going to be overnight, because nobody's going to like love you overnight, especially a mother. She wants to make sure she check out the scenery. She wants to make sure you are doing you're treating her child the way she would like her child to be treated. Love your child, love her child the way she wants her child to be loved. The care, she wants to see all of that, um, you know, all that, everything that is good in a relationship or a partner should bestow upon their child. She wants to make sure that is happening. And I don't think nothing is wrong with that. But for some of us women, I believe that we oftentimes create a situation that is uncalled for. I was watching a program the other day, and I saw the topic that they were talking about. Um, how do you feel about in-laws and mother-in-law? And one woman, or one of the women, said she has no respect for no law. She don't want to be friends with no law, no mother-in-law, no sister-in-law, no brother-in-law, no father-in-law. She just literally basically dismissed the entire partner's family. Like they're dead to her. Mind you, when I believe when the question was posed to this individual, did you ever had any encounter that was unpleasant with the mother-in-law? Her answer was no. But apparently, basically what she said, she's had a bad experience in a prior relationship with another man's mother, and that is what gave her the right to think it's okay to get in a disrespectful manner or mode in the present relationship where she thinks the man mother should not basically exist, which is stupid. It is stupid, it is ridiculous, it is uncalled for, and it is disrespectful. And I can tell a lot of women out here, I will tell you this: if you think for 1 second that you figure a way out, because a lot of men will do what makes you happy in a sense. They will do what makes you happy in a sense, like somehow like sever the closeness with their mother because of you. Or some of these dodos will literally stop talking to their mom because of you. But let me tell you, you might think you win, or you are winning in the situation where the man does not have that kind of closeness with their mother anymore, or even severed ties with their mom because of you. I can guarantee you, and I will tell you this: that man, in their heart, they resent the hell out of you. Especially if this is a man who's had a great relationship with their mother through the years. And only because you came in the picture and you have your preconceived notion and you have your attitude problem and you just think that you are so right and the mother-in-law shouldn't have any say and this, that, and the third. And then because that man or woman wants to make you happy, they sever the relationship with their mother, or it damages the relationship. I'm telling you, in their heart, they resent the hell out of you. Don't be too happy about that, because I am telling you, they resent you. And at any given time, when this person realizes or literally come to their senses and gather their brain, they will basically, I literally will walk out on you when you least expect. Right? And I'm not here to say that you may not have some mother-in-law who are a little bit, who steps overboard or overbound sometime. But there are ways to ensure that everybody knows what the level or the different kind of relationships are, the separation of the relationships. If the approach is basically saying, or because my my mom would say, you got to teach people how to treat you, and sometimes you have to be kind about it. It is not what you say, it's how you say what you have to say. I don't think you should be disrespectful to anybody's parents or to your partner's mother. They may overstep their bounds because it happens a lot. But there's a way to rein her back in. There's a way to speak to her. And sometimes you should not even address your partner's mother. You should have that discussion with your partner or with your husband or with your wife, whomever, to say exactly how you feel. And let them communicate with their mother. I really don't think it's your place to literally um, address your partner's mom, or your husband, mom, or whatever. It is not your place to address them. You know, you should have the discussion with your partner and do it in a respectful manner. And I can tell you from my experience, I have an amazing mother-in-law. Um, and I'm not going to tell you that, oh, every day is peaches and cream. For my relationship with my mother-in-law, sometimes we don't like each other, but we sure as hell love each other. There's a difference, because we will not in a million years allow any disagreement or anything that bothers us to fester. So it goes back again, where you have a partner who understands that the relationship between the mother and the wife or the partner is two separate things. The differentiation is distinctive. So everybody knows their corner, everybody knows their step, everybody knows their space. Everybody knows what each relationship means to each other. And once that is established, there should not be any issues or any problems. And even when something arises, like I said, there is a way to address it. And I don't think it is your space or your right, or I don't think it is your place to address your partner's mom. I'm just saying that right off the bat. If there's a problem, you talk to your partner respectfully, and then your partner should address your mother-in-law. This way, it will be a communication where it is respectful, because sometimes something may happen and you may get very upset. And then you may approach your mother-in-law, and the words that you use are not the best, and your approach is disrespectful. And what's going to happen? That's when the rift is going to begin. That's when the drama is going to start. And you don't want that. So, again, I will talk about my 3 tips. 1, leave the preconceived notions at the door before starting the relationship or entering the relationship with your partner. 2, never address your mother-in-law. That should be taking place. That address should take place with the mother-in-law child, not you. 3, do not be disrespectful. Be respectful. And I had a 4th one to my tip. Is basically, if there's a problem, you're gonna step back. You're gonna think about what the relationship means to you. Basically, if it's a triangle, because in my relationship, it's a triangle. It's myself, my husband, and my mother-in-law. And at the end of the day, like I said, we may not always like each other, but we sure as hell love each other. So therefore, step back. If there's a disagreement, if there's something that makes you unhappy, or you just feel like something is not supposed to be that way, you should just step back, think about it. Remember that the relationship existed, the mother and the child's relationship existed way before you got in the picture. So now you have to tread lightly. And again, I will say to anybody who thinks that you, so like I said, you should ensure that you stay respectful, be mindful that the relationship between a mother and the child existed way before you get into the picture. You cannot think you can come in and you will just be the queen all of a sudden. You cannot think you can come in and just run the show. You should not think you could come in and become disrespectful. Not because you've had a bad experience in a prior relationship. That does not mean your present relationship will be the same. You should leave your preconceived notions at the door. Have an open mind entering the relationship. Just do not think that every situation or everybody that you date or everybody that you get in a relationship with, your mother is going to automatically fall in love with you. That relationship takes time. One, it's hard to trust somebody with an egg. And basically, a child is like an egg, and every woman wants their egg to be handled with care. And every woman or every mother wants to make sure their child is loved the way they love their child. The child is cared for the way they would care for their child. The child will have Zoe. Oh, that's my baby barking. Well, I don't know why she's barking. I guess she's security. But I hope you understand what I'm saying, because we have to know that we should respect each other regardless of how we feel about somebody, you know. And I'm not saying that monster-in-laws do not exist, but sometimes before it gets to the monster, we could have stopped that. There could have been a way to fix the issues before it got to that point, you know. So what I'm saying is that, you know, just be mindful. Understand that respect goes a long way. Respect goes a long way. And if you are a queen, always remember that prior to your reign, there was a queen in the palace before you. Right? There's a queen in the palace before you. So therefore, I don't think two queens could reign in any palace. So sometime if you think you already have the crown and you're going into the palace, I think you should leave your crown at the door. Understand that there was a reigning queen prior to you going into the palace, and you will respect that. And then you have to make sure that Zoe, stop, baby. Stop, mama. Stop, baby. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know what she's a little bit anxious. I'm not sure why. But you have to be mindful that there's a queen before your arrival, you know, and you have to realize that that relationship was already there prior to your arrival. Be respectful. So I do hope that my 2 cents will help somebody who may be going through a situation with their mother-in-law, or who have already has preconceived notion about mother-in-laws. It doesn't have to be all bad. Take it from me. My mother-in-law and I, we live in the same house or same apartments, and we have an amazing relationship. We may not always like each other, but we sure as hell love each other. And I never address my mother-in-law. If I ever have a problem, I speak to my husband. My husband will speak to her. And then we will come together and have a conversation. And then everything will be okay. And I will say this again. Your partner should not be addressing your mother-in-law. It's very disrespectful. So again, let me remind you what to do. Remember to like, comment, and share. Don't forget to turn the notification buttons on. You hear it first.